AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis.
And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line.
Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Listen to me.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Gun. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
They'll drop to throw. Open man, a steal, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before it's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle. But they allow the conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Cook again. Room here to run. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really likes his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And some room to run now. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. They'll run with Cook. 63 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Rodgers now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt. You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate, as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Rodgers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. Just keeping the play alive. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
Third and short yardage. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 2nd down, Cook. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing is Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tanyan. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Cousins from the gun on third. It's complete to Cook. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, it's only week 1, CD, but right now this offense, they look in mid-season form.
And what we're seeing is the benefits of all their dedication in the offseason. OTAs, mini camps, preseason, you name it, they did it. All that work in preparation, we're seeing them play really well right now. They're making it all pay off.
Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry. They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on first down.
Cook now off the read option. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 13-yard line. 82 yards rushing for him in his first half. is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. The offense on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. This offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cook now off the read option.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
It's 4th down.
Johnson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And again, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down to the 40-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, Cousins.
the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
Rashawn Gary is a player who has gotten better and better in each of his 3 NFL seasons. And last year, his biggest jump yet with 9.5 sacks and a couple of forced fumbles.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Third down, here's a run by Cook. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
At the 43-yard line, a 4-yard gain. It's 4th down.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. Deep ball for Goodwin. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Let's take it at around the 40. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
Brings up 2nd and 7. Number 5-yard line.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Dave's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brings up 3rd down.
And right side, they're going to go option here.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Good route there. Hey, Steven, Steven.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, 44 yards. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 24. Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. 116 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building and bullying. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big run.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Johnny Munt, 26 yards. And the Vikings are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Now he'll throw deep left side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there.
Touchdown! Robert Tonyan from 6 yards away. And the Packers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising, because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys field it that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Up the middle, Nwandu. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. And the pressure gets to him again. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. From the 45 on 2nd down. Rodgers setting up the screen here. Aaron Jones. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. This is caught. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. So a good grab there. And here's a guy, he had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll just get rid of it.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. To throw is Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Andrew Booth puts it up. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to work. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken.